The first thing I'll start with is I love how many characters in this movie process things via books, TV shows, and movies. So for you two individually, what is the movie, the book, or show that you refer to most and helps you like process this crazy world?
There were tonal, that's kind of multiple buckets. It's hard to pick one. There was like narrative, inspiration, like we were writing it, like they live in the Truman Show. Like we're like had a baby, you know.
That's the best combo I've ever heard.
And then like tonally, you know, we were looking at like Big Lebowski and Boogie Nights and, you know, Jackie Brown. So those are definitely like, you know, movies that like kind of combine to like, you know, influence us. Like we were like sitting down, like crafting it. And like in the world building, actually like movies like the world building, think like It Follows, or like Napoleon Dynamite. Just in the sense of like the anachronisms in the world building and like that kind of temporal dissonance where you kind of not exactly like, you know, the question kind of comes up of, is this a period piece? Like, no, it's not, right? Like, you know, but it feels like it. Like, you know, I think a lot of that, you know, we were inspired by, you know, Napoleon Dynamite and It Follows.
You are name dropping all the right things.
It's fine. I mean, you know, shout out to
it.
All of those.
What about like day to day, you two walking down the street? What's the movie or the show or the book that weighs most heavily on your minds?
Oh, day to day? Okay.
Mine's Final Destination. I think everything is going to be a new Final Destination.
No, shit, no.
Just like, for life.
I like horror.
All right, so there's a book called Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? I think about that every day in the business that I'm building. In life, the themes of Braveheart, you know, just like that sits. And then, I don't know, there was a show, LA Law. I referenced that quite a bit in terms of a character on a show that inspired me, you know, it was a Blair Underwood character. Those are three things I touch on quite a bit.
I like those. Yeah. I like those. No Final Destination fans here?
I love Final Destination. I know. I mean, I think the way you took it, I was like, oh, because I was gonna say like something like Back to the Future, but I guess I don't think about that while I'm walking around. I feel like, you know, I feel like I'm like, you know, more on some like Dragon Ball Z, like
okay,
walking around,
yeah,
like, or, you
that
know,
sounds like
My Hero, or you know, something like that, or some shonen. I'd probably walk around with a shonen mindset, you know.
I like all these examples here. So you brought up your company, and a little bit of a broader question with that, because like yet again, this industry is going through a seismic shift in terms of how we're making movies and how we're distributing them. So what are some of your changing goals and approaches to make sure that you are always seeing your original mission statement with macro through?
Changing goals and approaches. Look, with the chaos of what's happening through our industry, and I think they're finding opportunity. And there's always going to be opportunity for really uniquely positioned, great new voices. And we just want to be a part of that and continue to find the right platforms for great voices to be out in the marketplace. And I would say the other thing is commercial projects as well for us, in terms of we've been involved with a lot of critically acclaimed projects. And I think a film like this, I believe, is widely commercial, but also the quality of the filmmaking and storytelling definitely, hopefully, could garner conversations as well.
Oh, without a doubt. Garner conversations with themes and also with the details. And I have a feeling those details are going to keep people coming back for multiple viewings. And it's making me think of something I read in I think it's our production notes. You had said this all started with, I think, a tone and a vibe. And what I see in the end is like this wild genre-bending mashup with so many world-building details. So what would you say is the biggest difference between how you originally envisioned this all playing out day one when you first came up with the concept and what we now see in the finished feature?
Oh, man. Honestly, like, I gotta bring it back to cast, you know. Nothing ever, like, comes out the way you imagined it in your head, and you just hope that, like, if it's different, and it's gonna be different, but, like, you know, hopefully, you know, when I was in film school, I felt like, oh, that ain't quite what I saw. I would make something in film school and be like, it's not exactly what I saw. You know what I mean? It's always that, you know, but because they brought the characters to life, and like the biggest difference is really like it's just so hard to imagine like truly what it would look like when you're in a room and like Jamie Foxx is inhabiting the character and Teyonah and John is inhabiting the character, and like even you know the supporting cast of like Kiefer Sutherland and David Alan Grier, and it's like impossible to like imagine what that's gonna feel like tonally, and like seeing those characters come to life with like such a crazy amount of talent, like you know what I mean? It's like you write a character on the page and he's stoic, and then John is warm and like he's got this dry humor, and it's like, you know, like there was a template of this character that you had, you know, years and years and years ago that you lived with for years, you know, before, you know, they were cast, it was a movie, it was just an idea, and it was on the page, and it spent many years like gestating before an actor inhabited it. And so, you know, it's become concrete in your mind and baked into your mind, like what they look like, what they sound like, how they move, their personality, and then like the actors completely like bring them to life. And it's always like better than what you imagine it would be, of course, you know, with talent like that. It's not always better than what you imagine it to be. Going back to film school, like often you're like, you know, and that ain't the actor's fault. That's usually my fault. You know, I'm like, oh, I could have did a better job with that, or, you know, but like in this case, you know, when you have talent at like that level, it's like, I would imagine it's, you know, always better than you saw it being. So I would say that's the biggest difference. To
get a little specific with that idea, can you tell me one thing in the movie, whether it's, I don't know, something in the production design, something an actor delivers that had more potential than you ever realized when you finished the script, where it just leapt off the screen in a way you never thought it was capable of?
Oh, all kind of stuff, especially when I go to production design. Shout out to Franco.
Yeah.
Like just seeing how the world was brought to the screen, you know, again, like when we first set out to make it, the scale was like, we imagined a much smaller scale, you know, like we had no idea that these actors would say yes, you know what I'm saying? And like with these actors, broad scale, right? Like, and so you're seeing the world build in a way that like, you know, you see goddamn fried chicken, and it's like, when you walk in the set, you're like, oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, what's up, Franco? You know, and when you see, from a performance thing, you see the elevator scene, and it's like, it's a couple of lines of prose, maybe like 2/8 of a page, just the song, but then they turn it into a performance. You're like, wow. Like, you know what I mean? And like, just seeing like how the three of them played off of each other, again, it's like, way better. It turned out way better than, you know, it could have been cut easily, you know, but then all of a sudden the actors like bring it to life, and it's like, okay, well, I guess this isn't as stupid as I thought it was on the page, you know. Like it's the actors, man. They make it way better than it has any right to be.
Give yourself some credit too. There's a lot going on here, and unless you have that conductor who's able to bring all that exceptional work together, this idea does not work, and you crush it. Thank you for your time today. Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you.